Hello, everybody, and welcome to the review for Dumb Money. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day so far, or you've had a good day already, and it's nighttime for you, and you're kicking back and enjoying this. I'm going to dive straight into this movie. So, Dumb Money is a movie directed by David Gillespie. It's about the true story about all the people buying stocks. They flipped the script on Wall Street, and they got rich by turning GameStop, that mall video game company, into one of the biggest companies in the stock market. So this movie stars Paul Dano, Pete Davidson, Vincent D'Onofrio, America Ferrera, Nick Offerman, Anthony Ramos, Seth Rogen, Sebastian Stan, Shailene Woodley. So basically, it's got an all-star cast here. And I was very excited for this movie prior to seeing it. Craig Gillespie, he did direct I, Tonya, which is one of my favorite movies from that year. And so, naturally I was excited for it. And with these kind of movies, I get really excited for them because they are stuff that often challenge my my perception on different subject matters. It's also stuff that has these all-star casts and quite dynamic dialogue that kind of have a rhythm to it, using quite technical language. So you really do have to think, and then after the movie, you're left to think about it a lot more. So I really do love these types of movies. And so when seeing, the marketing for Dumb Money, I often compared it to something like, The Big Short, Vice, The Social Network, the stuff that has quite sharp dialogue. It's got the big cast. It's often to do with, modern, financial movies, and they have like a comedic twist to them as well. So you get a little bit more of an entertainment factor there. It's not just 2.5 hours of just constant dialogue shoved down your throat. So, does this movie match up to that? No, it doesn't. Is it good? Yes. I did enjoy the movie quite a bit. From a cast perspective, none of these performances really blew me away. I thought Paul Dano was a bit miscast for this. Paul Dano is always great. He's just one of the greatest actors that have never been nominated for an Oscar before. He was really good. Pete Davidson, I didn't like his character. No, I thought we could have done with a lot less of his character, almost a distraction at points of times. Everyone else provides quite serviceable roles, and that's about the extent of it. So if you're wondering about the Oscar side of things and who would trend towards a nomination, I really don't think anyone is going to be nominated or in contention for it by the end of the year. As for the script, because it's based on a book or adapted from a book, and this happened during 2020. So the entire film has a lot of references to COVID, wearing masks and the COVID vaccination stuff. So this movie is it was adapted very fast. I wasn't the biggest fan of the screenplay. There are some elements where it truly shines, and there's some elements where it kind of falters. I think my main problem with this is the lack of an emotional hook to anything. And there are little sprinkles of there's sprinkles of moments where we connect with the characters, and you kind of get that emotional relationship there between the audience and what's happening on screen. But it never really decides to explore that area. It's just very fixated on the big concept that it's playing with, and I think that is a bit of a letdown on that side of things. I also thought it was a little bit too how to articulate it, a bit too edgy with its humor, and a bit too just very edgy. Some of the humor, it doesn't work. It's a little bit off, and it just kind of feels a little bit awkward at times. When it's playing with the main financial piece about the stocks going up, I think there's some brilliant editing pieces in that, and it really makes it quite compelling. The only thing about it is that it's the tone so on and off with it that it's really hard to really dive deep into this or get deeply kind of immersed in the story, as it just sometimes the flow just wasn't right there. And you got that flow quite a bit with something like The Social Network and The Big Short. As for the dialogue pieces, I think it needed to be at least sharpened a little bit. Again, it's playing with too many characters, and they just don't really get there. There's just no balance between all of that stuff, between having the right dialogue for the right characters, and it's a lot of that stuff just felt off. But I think in terms of using this concept, this gimmick about the stock market and GameStop and what they did there, I think it laid it out pretty cut and clear. I think this movie deserved to be at least half an hour longer, because and you know how at the end of these kind of movies it kind of gives you like a 1 or 2 sentence explanation saying what happened after. It gives you a lot of information afterwards. And I'm like, you could have just adapted this into the film side of it, but it didn't. And I think it needed a little bit more to flesh a little bit of things out, allow a bit more understanding for the audience that weren't aware of the situation going on at the time. But yeah, overall, the story, the editing, it all plays out quite well. At the end of the day, I think it's really just serviceable. When you're talking about the technical side of filmmaking here, you're not getting anything flashy in terms of cinematography or production design or sound. I think in terms of the song selection, I think it's odd, and I think they tried to be bold with the song choices just for the sake of it. And when you watch this movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There is one song in the movie that was just, I don't know why they had that in there. I think they're just trying to reflect the times and have that kind of modern 2020 kind of rap in there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think it fit. I thought they were just doing it for the sake of doing it, just to get a kind of little bit of a rise out of the audience. Dumb selection. So that's just my take on that. Overall, what Craig Gillespie has done here, he's crafted something that I think is it's good, it's serviceable. It had a lot more potential, and that's why this review kind of sounds it. You would assume this review is mostly negative. I'm going to give this a positive score, but I am focusing more on where it missed the mark more, just because I believe something like this has a lot more potential. It captures, the entertainment value well. It has the energy and the rush of it, but it doesn't quite stress the urgency or anything like that. It's just kind of, it should have been a little bit more smarter with it. I think it leant too hard into the area of being entertaining and relevant, rather than kind of selling what actually happened in real life and trying to translate that story accurately. Some other parts, it kind of, it makes this movie makes what happened, the whole GameStop stock price rising, as it was like a massive revolution, and it kind of impacted the world, when it really wasn't that big. It was a fun little thing at the time. So I think it oversells the impact of what the film is about. But yeah, the film at times, it can feel overstuffed. It can feel a little bit too much. I think fleshing out that runtime, allowing the characters to sit and breathe, create an emotional hook for the audience to really grab onto. I think this movie had a lot more potential. Sharpen up that dialogue, make it a little bit more technical, a little bit more smarter. I think it could have been something quite special, like in the realm of being in that Best Picture discussion. I think it's gonna miss that. I don't know where this could fit in with the Oscars at the end of the year, and it was kind of projected to be something that could contend. So yeah, that's my take on this. This movie doesn't come out till October 26th for New Zealand. That's where I am. I believe it's out it's ramping up its theater count up to that point in America. So if you have the chance to see it, I would go see it. I would recommend it to you. It's a good time at the movies. You're going to get a good story. You're going to get some solid performances, all the works really. But if you're expecting something like the Big Short, The Social Network, or Vice, or any Steve Jobs and any of that kind of stuff, your Jobs, I don't know what it's called, but that movie, you're not going to get that level of quality. So if you want to save your money, that could also be an option too. Otherwise, it's something that I would recommend. But you know that we're entering the last quarter of 2023 now. That's pretty shocking because it's weird to say that 2024 is here in about 3 months and a week. That's kind of scary, but yeah, that kind of time period is when we get all these great films, and there's so much out there that we can go out and we can consume, we can enjoy, we can discuss with others, and we can talk on the podcast like I'm doing now. So, but I also know that we don't have unlimited money. We do have responsibilities, financial obligations. There is, a cost of living crisis now, and things are getting really hard for people. So I want to be far more sincere in terms of my recommendations to you guys, and honestly, just say like, if you want some fun, go see something like Dumb Money. But if you are expecting some of those classics on a similar kind of playing field where it's got, that sharp, witty dialogue and, kind of financial, technological side to things, perhaps this movie isn't for you. I would hold off. There's good stuff coming. We got Killers of the Flower Moon. That's coming out in a month. That's only one. I can think of so much more. The Holdovers, Poor Things. Save your money for those ones because we've heard such good things, and we'll be reviewing them right here. But anyway, that will do it from me today. Thank you guys so much for listening again to one of our reviews. I know it's been a while since I've actually done a review here, but Nane's been away, and it's hard to find time, and I have other obligations in life. So I managed to get up to this one. Next week, I have The Creator to go to. And then I think the week after that, I got The Exorcist. So we'll be bringing those ones out to you as soon as we can. Be on the lookout for it. Check back next week. And remember, on Mondays or Sundays or Saturdays, wherever you are, it's somewhere around those times, check back for the Let's Be Real podcast. And, you can always click on those notifications and just never miss a beat with us. You can also follow us on Twitter, and that's where we have majority of our conversations. Feel free to flick us a DM. We can chat, suggest stuff for Let's Be Real. Whatever it is, guys, just flick us a message. We'll be happy to have that conversation. So go out, go enjoy the day or the evening. If you're in New Zealand, go enjoy the sun. Summer's around the corner. If you're in other parts of the world, winter's around the corner. Sorry for you. Anyway, till next time, guys, keep bringing the hype. Peace.